One of the most amazing days in my life was the day that I graduated boot camp. It was almost 17 years ago, and still in my memory, I keep that sacred. One of the things that still comes to mind every time I put on my service dress uniform is how much pride I take in it. The care given to the uniform is important. There's certain guidelines and aspects that you have to follow, because when you're out in the civilian world, people see that. People see the uniform, and if there's one thing wrong with it, they may not think the best of that particular military person. There's a lot of time and care and money that goes into the items for the service dress uniform, along with the other uniforms. But today I'm going to talk about how that price started for me. When I graduated military training, boot camp, down in Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, I was proud of myself. I completed 6 weeks of very grueling and intense training, and I thought I earned the right to wear that uniform. Well, along that time, I also graduated from my technical school for aviation resource management, and I received my badge to go along with that uniform, and that was very exciting too. I remember my first duty station, the first time that I was briefed by my first supervisor. She was a master sergeant, and the first thing that she talked to me about was the uniform. She said that my name badge reflects what type of airman I am, because they can look at my uniform and tell, well, if I'm sloppy, I'm probably not going to be the best worker. But if I'm crisp and have a very nice looking uniform that's clean and polished, chances are that I'll be a good airman. Now, at the time, being 18, I was kind of taken aback by that. But now, as I've gotten older, I kind of understand a little bit more about the reasoning behind that. Some of the things that are included are ribbons and badges, hats, shoes. There's many items that are included in the service dress and other uniforms. For instance, this is the female uniform. This is just a typical uniform that we wear every day. This is our hat. It tells you where to position certain things, as far as if you're a 4-star general, which would be wonderful. But here on our enlisted female, you can see the chevrons. It actually has a certain amount of inches that it's supposed to be from the lapel, or the actual shoulder, down to the top of the stripe. Her name tape and her badges and ribbons are on the same side. Where we get guidance for this is an AFI that we all use. AFIs are Air Force instructions, and there's one for about every single thing the Air Force does. And 36-2903 covers dress and appearance for military members in the Air Force. It gives you information on what's appropriate. Let's say if you're going to a function and it calls for your service dress, it tells you exactly what type of shirt to wear, whether it be white. Do you wear your hat? Do you wear ribbons? Do you wear medals, depending on your rank? So really, that's our go-to guide to let us know. And it was really helpful for me because I was able to go out to Google Images and get some good pictures for you guys to look at. So next slide. The uniform has changed over the years. Some of the Air Force history that just knowing off the top of my head from being an NCO for 17 years or being in the military for 17 years, we started out cohabitating with the Army. So the women's auxiliary was known as WAC. And the WAC uniform is presented right here. And basically what it was everything that was kind of mismatched together from other services or that people had to make uniform. Now this one here, this is the actual uniform that was produced by the U.S. government. The ones down here, these are variations. Like for instance, this one would be winter, this one would be summer, and this would be in between. So many changes have occurred since 1940. And here's our uniform today. We have two gentlemen. One is an officer, you can tell by his lapel, and he has the pins on his lapel, he's a major. And then one is a chief. Both gentlemen wear their silver-plated name tags, and this is the more casual look that you would have. Let's say if you're going to an important meeting or something like that, this is what you would wear. It has some type of job badge. Up here also, it has his job badge, and these are the ribbons that he has acquired during his military service. So like I said, each one is measured out at a certain degree. The U.S. insignia are measured out on the lapel, which are the hardest things to put on your uniform because you have to measure the lapel seam. So if those are off, people will definitely know. So in conclusion, I hope that I've shown you some reasons why it's so important to have a sharp dress, to look good. Not only is the uniform for wearing, but it also serves as a reminder of the past. When we look at the uniform today, we can see little tidbits, little ways that it's cut that reflect the past uniforms that we've wore through the military service. Great care and time is input in maintaining the uniforms because it's important for us to put time into them. The more time that we put into them, the more that we care about them and the better that we look. Wear of the uniform gives us great pride, and walking through the airport several times I've been stopped and actually hugged by people who are thankful for my military service, and a lot of it has to do is because I'm traveling in uniform and I stick out like a sore thumb, but it's a wonderful way to stick out, and I enjoy the feedback that I get from citizens, and it makes me feel as though the time that I spend away from my family and the time that I spend away from my husband and the things that I enjoy doing and the places I've been, it just all kind of makes it worth it to see that reaction from someone who's probably not used to being around military personnel. I hope this gives you some information and background about military service, ribbons and badges, and how much pride all of us military members take in the wear and maintenance of the uniform. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.